On the 12th of September, Nightingale introduced a swathe of changes to the game, with their huge Realms Rebuilt update. I've been playing a preview version of the new build. In this video, I'll take you through the changes and show you some sneak peeks. Big thank you to Inflection for giving me early access and for sponsoring this video. If you don't own the game yet, you can find a link in the video description. Nightingale is a PvE open-world survival crafting game, playable solo or cooperatively with friends. After releasing in early access in February, Inflection has been busy listening to player feedback and have been implementing a lot of requests from their community, including a lot of quality of life features, and an offline mode to take away our reliance on server access and internet connection. Realms Rebuilt is the biggest update so far, introducing an all-new handcrafted, reimagined campaign, with story realms that provide more guidance than before, but there are still procedurally generated realms to keep up replayability. I played an early preview build of Nightingale, and at launch in February, and the early game in Realms Rebuilt feels very different. First, you now choose the look of your character and starting loadout separately, and you'll eventually get access to a transmog bench called a glamour station to apply the appearance of your fancy starter gear to the items you craft. No more compromising your look to make the most powerful items. There are quality of life changes to the hotbar. Consumables are now accessible through a radial dial, which you can manage through your inventory, making it much easier to consume a variety of potions and foods on the fly. The starter cave experience has been redesigned and looks gorgeous, and you no longer are taken through the 3 biome types at the start of your game. Instead, you travel immediately to your starter realm and arrive at the crossways, where you'll find the Realmic transmuter and a series of closed-off portals you'll be guided to gradually unlock. The Realmic transmuter seems to work the same as before. You present a minor realm card offered by Puck, the game's guide, and can change realm-wide effects such as prolonging the effects of food, increasing enemy loot drops, affecting damage dealt and received, and reducing gravity. You'll be able to teleport back to the crossways from anywhere, so there's no need to set up base right next door to switch up realm effects or to use the portals, a welcome quality of life feature. Leaving the crossways, you're encouraged to look for tools around the map, each of which are marked as treasured items, and will grant you the recipe for free when you pick them up. No longer do you have to find the correct essence trader in various realms to pay for schematics and increase your gear score. Players will now be able to spend essence in the new progression tree by pressing P in-game. You can now see which recipes are available, how much, and the tier of essence required. In my opinion, this is a great change and much easier to plan your gameplay and home layout. On essence, you can no longer run around spamming E to collect plant fibre, rocks and sticks to farm tier 1 essence. You can still harvest them, but they're no longer extractable. Higher tier resources can still be extracted, but the idea is to focus players on completing points of interest, quests and challenges. This will at least mean we have a lot of those low tier resources for building. As part of the Realms Rebuilt update, the devs have added a new Regency tile set and increased the build and structure limits substantially after working on optimization to improve save file stability. Tile pieces such as walls and floor pieces have increased from a limit of 300 to 900. They've increased the limits for freestanding structures and placeables, such as workbenches and campfires, but as the limits for those are weighted based on their impact on performance, the devs say it's harder to give numbers for those just yet. In this update, augments to crafting benches will now add buffs to your items, but are no longer essential for crafting recipes. As the changes to the game are so vast, players will need to start fresh characters to continue to play on servers and start a fresh game. But existing estates will continue to be playable in offline mode if you wish, though these saves will not receive further updates or bug fixes. Keep an eye out for instructions on how to move your game offline if you want to keep your existing builds. I was glad to see that magic was easier to use very early on in my preview gameplay. I opted for a magic loadout at the start of the game and was able to apply a restorative enchantment to my weapon, giving me another means to heal damage. The devs have increased the range of tools and spells. One of the items you'll find when looking for treasured items in your realm is a bow and arrows, which proved to be very useful, and new tier upgrades have been added to sling bows, pistols, rifles and shotguns. In your abeyance realm, you'll still be able to recruit a follower who can harvest, gather and carry items for you, as well as being a useful ally to deal and tank damage in combat. Something that amused and irked me on the earlier version of the game was seeing my follower place wood and branches in fires, or completing structures with resources needed for a quest. Well, fortunately, this is now manageable in an updated interface. You can now use a toggle to instruct recruited followers to attack, revive, use potions, mine, harvest, log, gather harvested resources, fuel structures, build unfinished structures, and perform repairs. In addition, rather than chasing them around swearing, you can tell them to remain still, work in a designated location, or to follow you. Thank you, Tevs. Once you've recruited a follower, found or learnt the recipes for the essential tools and weapons, you'll want to find somewhere to set up your base and place your estate cairn. Craft the basic benches, make yourself some simple clothing, craft and apply some infusions to get some handy stamina and health buffs, and don't forget to kit out your follower too. Then you'll be able to take on the new boss, the Jabberwock, in a redesigned site of power. The location will be marked on your map, take the potions Puck gives you, and consider adding them to your radial wheel. The new site of power is much more interesting than before, in my opinion. Now feeling like a vault. You'll want your umbrella and climbing picks to move around comfortably, and I enjoyed using a combination of the explosive stones with the sling bow and my axe to fight the boss. Make sure to look around for loot before you leave. Puck will meet you back at the crossways so you can unlock your first portal and venture out of your home realm. That's as far as I reached on the preview, but I'll be streaming the game on my Twitch and YouTube channels, and I'm looking forward to seeing what lies next in the story. So far I was pleased with what I saw. I'm looking forward to the next stage of my adventures in Nightingale and to see more quality of life improvements over time. I want to say a big thank you again to Inflection for giving me early access to the new build and for sponsoring this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stop by when I'm live. Let me know what you think in the comments and what else you'd like to see in future updates. Thanks for watching.